I was at the market just up the road there, just gonna get some lunch or some dinner, and then I came across the shop which they sell hardware stuff, containers, it's just a variety of stuff, and then something caught my eye, which was this. So I looked at it and go, this looks like a bit of fun, let's buy it and have a play with it. Now, not knowing what it is, obviously it's a rifle type thing, so I'm just going to open it up. I did have a little bit of research. I researched it last night to see what exactly it is. So the guy that made it has got his name on there. So I just Googled or YouTubed it, and it came up with that guy on the photo. So this is actually a spear gun for fishing. At the moment I don't have any fish that I can see that surface up. If I was going to do any fishing I would have just used my bow. But let's have a look here what this is. Okay, straight away the stock is actually quite nice, so I'll say, you know, good job on the stock. It is light wood. Normally stocks are made out of heavy wood. Okay, and this looks like to be a dart or an arrow. Right. That's quite a heavy rubber tubing, so it's probably powered by rubber. Okay, and that looks like to be a fishing line. Okay, so I was a little bit confused at first because I was wondering what these were, and honestly I thought all you do is you just put that into there, you know, like just imagine that goes into there, push it in and then you pull it back, but that wouldn't work because that's too sharp and it would just break the rubber. But I saw the video, they just tied onto there so you can slip it on and off when you're tying it like that, and then you just put it back on like that. I'm not going to set this up as it is because one thing I've noticed is that this is a really heavy pull, and what this is made out of is a light aluminium. So this is a very, very thin piece of aluminium, and then it's got wood in between that aluminium. So if I grab this and I give it a twist, you can see, I can see how weak it is. So if I was to put that tube in and pull it back, that's going to bend. I don't know why he did that, because that's not very strong, and I can tell by that that's not very strong. The other thing why I'm not going to set it up as it is that it just came with one dart, and if I shoot this I'm going to lose it. I think what they do is they tie the fishing line at the end of the dart like that, or they tie it somewhere. Yeah, they tie the fishing line to this, and then it goes through there, and they pull it back. So how this trigger release works is that there's a pin inside it here. So there's a pin inside there. This is part of the pin. Once you pull the trigger, the pin drops, and then it releases the dart, and there's a groove in that dart here. So once you put it in here, you pull the trigger, and that's where the dart is, and then it'll just connect onto there. And then the rubber, once you pull it back, will be connected onto there, like so. And then once you fire release the trigger, that shoots off. Now because the string is touching the rod, it's not really rubbing against the rail, so that will be fine. And then at the end of it, we'll release it out with the string, and then you hit the fish, and then you wind it in with that. Like I said, I'm not going to set it up as it is because I think it's very dodgy, but what I will do is I'll modify it. I'll modify it, have a bit of fun. So obviously this can come off, and maybe this can come up a little bit higher. I'll have a look. And what I see a lot of people do, because you're not allowed rifle here. You're not allowed, even just getting an air rifle is a mission. Like I try to get an air rifle online and it says not available, and you know, so I think getting a rifle here is pretty hard. So what the locals do is they invent these things. If you're into hunting and if you're into that kind of thing, is that they invent these kind of weapons, these kind of guns, and most of them are powered by, you know, rubber band, and you pull it back and it'll have the same trigger mechanism. So it's basically a slingshot rifle. So yeah, I'll have a play with this and see if I can shoot, you know, either steel balls or clay balls or marbles, and see how it goes. But that's interesting.